Hi friends, I am Dr. Kumari. Welcome to Sparsh Homoeopathy. Today, it is the second part of Sulphur. Sulphur is the king of antisoric remedies. It is of great use in the beginning of treatment of chronic diseases and in finishing acute cases. And it is used when well-selected remedies fail to act, especially in acute cases. And sulphur persons of Crobless disease subject to venous congestion and portal congestion. He is lean and stoop-shouldered. He walks and sits stooping like an old man. Standing is the most uncomfortable position of sulphur. His face is delicate with long, thin eyelashes similar to that of phosphorus. Phosphorus is tall, slender, grow very rapidly with a tendency to stoop and have long, silky eyelashes. And it is also scrofulous in diathesis, and like sulphur, he is also anemic. Sulphur is dirty, filthy, or prone to skin affections. Though hot patient, there is an aversion to take bath, and skin excessively sensitive to atmospheric changes. Children cannot bear to be washed or bathed. Always an aggravation after bath. In antimonium crudum, child cries when washed or bathed with cold water. Child is emaciated, having odd-looking face, big-bellied, hot, and kick off cloth at night with worm infestation. Glands all over the body is swollen, and like sulphur, the big-bellied children are Silesia and Calcareous. In Calcareous force, abdomen is very flabby and sunken. Patient sweats very much on head, especially during sleep. His fondness remains open for a long period, similar to that of calcareous force and calcareous. Defective osseous growth carries rickets, curvature of spine, and various hip joint diseases. Patient suffers from voracious appetite. He is eating well, but there is losing flesh, and the food is not assimilated. And it is found losing flesh while eating well is found in abrotanum, iodum, natrum, tuberculinum, sanicula, etc. Chronic diseases resulting from suppressed eruptions. Sulphur has an aversion to heat, history of excessive sexual indulgence, then craving for alcohol, complaints that are continuously relapsing in nature in sulphur. There is congestion of single parts, eyes, nose, chest, abdomen, etc. There is congestion. And congestion is also found in ovaries, arms, legs, and every organ of the body. And it shows the marking of onset of tumors and malignant disease conditions. And you will also found in climacteric period. Sensation of burning and heat on vertex. Cold feet in daytime and burning soles at night. And wants to move to a cool place to relieve the burning of hands and feet. And it is found in sanguinaria, sanicula, medoranum, lachesis, etc. In lachesis, patient wants to cover the leg and wants to be fanned. And burning spot on vertex found in craphitis, calcarea, sulphur. Cold spot on vertex found in sepia and paratra. Hot head and cold feet in arnica, belladonna, stramonium, etc. Burning feet in chamomilla, medoranum, and sanicula. In sulphur, burning and dryness on various parts of the body. Hot flushes during the daytime with weak faint spells passing off with little moisture. It is one of the trio of burning remedies. Other two burning remedies are arsenicum and phosphorus. In arsenicum, there is affected part burn like fire, as if hot coals placed on the part, and better by heat, hot drinks, hot application, etc. In ours, the burning is more intense than the other two remedies and is characterized by anxiety, fear, restlessness, with extreme prostration and combined circulation during daytime and midnight, and the person is chilly. In phosphorus, burning sensation all over the body, sometimes the burning in isolated spots. They are anemic, sensitive, and hemorrhagic also, and have tubercular diathesis. And phosphorus persons are chilly with a craving for icy cold drinks and juicy refreshing things. Aconite, burning with acute inflammatory conditions, and during the first stage of inflammatory conditions, and there is high fever, anxiety, fear, and restlessness, and there is the pain is intolerable, and burning thirst for large quantities of cold water, and the aconite is better by open air. Epis, burning stinging pain, and is sore and suddenly migrates from one place to another, and better by cold application. And Epis is very hot. They cannot tolerate hot in any form, both externally and internally. and they are restless, showing fidgetiness and aggravation by heat. In agaricus, burning, itching, redness as if from frostbite. Chilblains, aggravation in cold air. Then another remedy is capsicum for burning pain, and there is a burning and smarting sensation as if cayenne pepper is placed on the part. It is not tolerated by heat, and there's feeling of constriction in capsicum. In anthracinum, burning is mostly connected with ulcers, putrid sore ulcers, gangrene, and malignant pustules, carbuncles, etc. Belladonna, burning in acute inflammatory diseases, and the head is very hot, and the person is chilly, and extremities are cold, and there is redness of the affected part. Congestion is manifested as redness of the orifice. In sulphur, all orifices are very red. Bright redness of the lips as if blood will burst through, and it is found in tuberculum also. The lips are red, ears red in color, nostrils, then tonsils, uvula, and redness of the anal orifice. Lips are vermilion red in color. In sulphur, there is an all-gone empty feeling about 11 a.m. and patient cannot wait for lunch and complains better by eating. Ravenous hunger 11 a.m. or 12 noon, found in cigarette also. All-gone empty feeling found in phosphorus and sepia also. In phosphorus, it is at 11 a.m. and it is better by eating. It also found in Synga metallicum, sulphur, natramure, baptisia, etc. In baptisia, fever paroxysm at 11 a.m. Ignitia is hysterical and empty feeling which is not tolerated by eating. Phosphorus, there is an aggravation at night and empty feeling better by eating. Petroleum, the similar sensation we can find out after stool. Sepia, the all-gone empty feeling in abdomen is in connection with uterine complaints. And in Allen's keynote, it is written as better by eating. And Ken and others are of the opinion that the all-gone empty feeling is due to drying down of the pelvic content, so there is no relief after eating. Then all discharges of sulphur yellowish, dirty, filthy, acrid, and excoriating wherever it touch. Sulphur is hot patient and there is air hunger. Feels suffocated and wants windows and doors to be open, particularly at night. And amelioration, open air. It is found in Pulsatilla, Allium cepa, Epis, Aconite, Sabina, etc. In carbamide also there is air hunger. Patient wants to be fanned nearly and rapidly. Lachesis wants to be fanned very slowly from a distance. Periodicity at every day at 11 a.m. and periodical headache once in every week or once in every month. Asthma every 8 days. Complaints after every full moon also found in sulphur, and full moon aggravation found in calcareous carb also. Both new moon and full moon aggravation in alumina, new moon aggravation in silesia. The skin is unhealthy, dry and scaly, and every little injury followed by ulceration. Sulphur is an important remedy to facilitate serous inflammatory X-ray in brain, pleura, and joints. Particular symptoms: sulphur has an action on eyes, used in retinitis, cataract, keratitis, and marginal blepharitis. Ear complaints: deafness with humming and hissing in ear. In causticum, there is persistent roaring in ears for words and steps re-echo in auditory passages. In China, roaring in ears is due to extreme debility, and there is because of great loss of vital fluid. We find this in females after great flooding, in thysical persons after hemoptysis, in weak anemic young men with the constant loss of seminal fluids. Then in graphitis, humming and roaring in ears with deafness, but hears bursting noise. In quiet and secluded places, he cannot hear anything. In phosphoric acid, roaring with difficult hearing, intolerance of noise. Petroleum, noise is unbearable, especially from several people talking together. Ringing, crackling in ears with eustachian catarrh and diminished hearing. Phosphorus, hearing difficult, especially to human voice. Re-echoing of sound, there is dullness of hearing after typhoid. In caliphos, humming and whizzing in ears. Salicylic acid, roaring and humming in ears, deafness with vertigo. Then nasal complaints of sulphur, profuse catarrh discharge from nose, and in outdoors, Persian nostrils is blocked out. Tongue is coated white with red tip and edges. Sometimes it is full of aphthay like mercurius, borax, and hydrastis. Then respiratory complaints of sulphur, It is a remedy for laryngitis, bronchitis, thyroiditis, pneumonia, etc. There is hoarseness and aphonia, especially in morning hours. And it is found in causticum also. And evening hoarseness found in phosphorus, pulsatilla, carboveg. And painless hoarseness, aggravation in morning found in calcareous. More the chronic the case, it is better indicated. In pneumonia, sulfur will relieve the hyperemia and used after aconite and bryonia, which have after controlling the condition of this pneumonia. Sulfur is indicated. It prevents hepatization and promote absorption. Relapsing of symptoms when well-selected remedy fails to relieve, and we can think about sulfur. Patient feels suffocated and wants the doors and windows to be opened, especially at night. And weakness of chest when talking, as it is found in sternum metallicum. The upper lobe of left lung is affected, and it is found in tuberculum, phosphorus, theridion also. Sharp stitching pain from left lung radiates to back, and aggravation lying on back, and least movement also produces aggravation, and better by lying on right side. There is alteration of skin complaints with asthma. Suppression of eczema brought out violent fit of asthma. Evening and night there is no expectoration. Morning and daytime dark bloody sputum. Sulfur drinks much and eat little. Eating too many sweets like argan and nitricum, lycopodium, etc. Sulfur has a strong desire for alcohol, especially beer and brandy. Patient frequently suffers from painless morning diarrhea, especially after midnight, and patient drives out of bed early in morning with a sensation as if the bowels were too weak to retain their content. He is dyspeptic, suffers from incarcerated flatus, similar to that of carboveg, cinchona, and lycopodium. Then allows, here also the person drive out of bed early in the morning due to want of confidence or sphincterine. Hurry to closet immediately after eating and drinking. Bryonia, slightest motion aggravation, so aggravation in morning on moving even a hand or foot. After a spell of hot weather also, there is diarrhea in bryonia. In natrum salt, on first rising and standing on feet, the feeling there is an urging to pass stool. After a spell of wet weather, there is diarrhea in natrum salt. Phosphorus, morning diarrhea, especially in old people, as soon as anything enters into the rectum. Then there is sago-like particles in stool, and there is a wide open sensation of anus and forcible expulsion of watery stool as from a hydrant, and wide open sensation of anus. It is found in epis, secale core, etc. Podophyllum, early morning diarrhea, and it continues throughout forenoon, and there is normal stool in the evening hours, and associated with the sensation of weakness and sinking in abdomen and rectum with prolapse of ana and pain in sacra. Women's early morning diarrhea 5 to 10 a.m. Painless, profuse, offensive stool. Sudden urging to dry out of the person from bed in morning and associated with a dry tickling of in soranum. Sudden urging to pass stool. Aggravation night 1 to 4, in between 1 to 4 a.m. The stool is dark brown and very offensive, and it has a carrion-like odor, and diarrhea after acute diseases and during teething time and when weather changes. Then constipation of sulfur. Stool is very dry, hard and large, painful, highly offensive stool, and there is alternate constipation and diarrhea. This alternate constipation and diarrhea found in Naxomica, Abrotanum, Chelidonium, Paratramal, Anding root, and Polynsonium. Hemorrhoids, there is oozing of moisture from rectum. The hemorrhoids may be bleeding or blind in nature, and there can be prolapse of ana along with stool. And the hemorrhoids may be painless, and there can be in dysentery, tenesmus after stool, and patient falls asleep as soon as tenesmus stops. Then urinary complaints of sulfur, frequent micturition especially at night, enuresis in scrofulous and untidy children, parts painful when urine touches over it. Then other medicines for nocturnal enuresis, sepia, bed is wet as soon as the child goes to sleep, always during first sleep. In soranum, enuresis from vesical paresis, and during full moon. Obstinate cases with a family history of eczema. In creosotum, during first sleep, from which the child is aroused with very difficulty. Then causticum, constipation in children with nocturnal enuresis. Then equisetum, patient passes profuse watery urine in large quantities where habit is the only ascertainable cause. Female complaints of sulfur, The menses is too early, too profuse and protracted, and it is found in this too early, too profuse and protracted menses found in Creosotum, Naxomica, Calcarea, Cyclamen, Platina, Carum metallicum, Tuberculinum, Tapsibosa pastoris, etc. The sulfur has not been well since miscarriage. According to Lippi, a single dose of sulfur at new moon relieve the complaints. Then skin complaints, boils coming in crops on various parts of the body. A single boil is succeeded by another as soon as the first is healed, and is found in tuberculinum also. In tuberculinum, crops of boils intensely painful and successively appears especially in nose, and it contains green fetid pus. In arnica, tendency to small painful boils one after another and extremely sore. Sulphur skin is very rough, dry, scaly and scabby, and very little perspiration also. Even though the perspiration is very little and it is offensive in nature, and there is voluptuous itching, and scratching gives relief, and patient feels good to scratch. Scratching causes burning pain, and it is aggravated by heat of bed, and it is found in warmth of bed aggravation found in mercurius, alumina, meserium also. And in sulfur, there is soreness in folds of skin and is found in lycopodium and graphitis. In skin complaints of sulfur, it is similar to Soranum. So the skin of Soranum also very dirty and unhealthy, and sweat has an unpleasant odor. Soranum patient is very susceptible to cold. The person is chilly, and after exposure to cold complains first. And the Soranum persons always wears fur cap even in hot summer weather, and his collars always high. Sulfur is hot, and he wants the windows and doors to be open. And the skin complaints of sulfur aggravation in summer season, but in Soranum, winter season aggravation, and the sweat is profuse and it is better by after sweating. In sepia, itching your skin, it is not tolerated by scratching and is apt to change to burning, and better by warmth of bed, and sepia is chilly patient. Fever of sulfur, the skin is very dry, hot and burning in nature, and with great thirst. And there can be frequent flashes of heat, and there is a persistent long continued fever, and there is night sweat on nape and occiput, and there can be perspiration on single part also. Then sleep of sulfur, cannot sleep between 2 to 5 a.m. Male symptoms, there is involuntary discharge of semen with burning in urethra, congestion, fullness, and penis size is cold, and sexual power is almost extinct. On attending to coalition, orgasm result very quickly. And these are the important symptoms of sulfur. Thank you.